Welcome. I would like to talk a little bit about what needs to happen in your baby's first few days of life to make sure that they are getting enough food and you're getting enough breast stimulation. So on the first day of life, when they are born, most likely and hopefully they'll be delivered right onto your chest, which is great because this is right by the breast and it helps to stimulate the breast. If in a half an hour baby is still not showing interest in latching, is maybe very exhausted, we should go to hand expressing and spoon feeding baby the colostrum. And then baby sometimes will go into a very deep restorative sleep. It's kind of like a jet lag sleep after they've just been on their long plane ride to get here. And then at 6 hours old, we need to wake them up and practice breastfeeding. So remember that because they've never done it, we don't expect them to be necessarily great at it. So we're going to practice for 10 to 15 minutes, but then we are going to use our trusty spoon and we are going to do 10 to 15 minutes of hand expression of the breast and spoon feed that to the baby, anything that we're able to harvest. If you're having difficulty with your baby waking up, go straight to hand expressing, get a couple of drops right under their upper lip, and often they'll wake up and then do a good feed. But when we leave things in control of the baby, they often will sleep through these really important feeds because they don't have any idea of hunger and full. So in the first 3 days, it's a repeating pattern of every 2 to 3 hours, making sure that we're getting 8 and 24 hours feeds, that we are practicing breastfeeding for 10 to 15 minutes, then we're practicing hand expression for 10 to 15 minutes, because what we're doing is making sure the baby is having opportunities to learn, but we're also making sure that they are fed and that your breasts are stimulated. And this is going to help your milk transition in a little bit quicker if we're doing all of this good hand expression. So once your milk is in, you don't have to do the hand expression at the end because baby will be emptying your breast. And if we take more out, then more is made. And that's where we can get into the oversupply issue. So once your milk is in, you're still going to need to wake your baby up until they are back to their birth weight or 2 weeks old. And why that is because some of the things that babies go through as they're born makes them extremely sleepy, and they have no idea of what hunger and full feels like. So although we like demand feeding or feeding only when the baby's asked is only something we can trust them to do once they have had time in this world to understand hunger and full. And so 2 weeks, or when they're back to their birth weight, is when we can start really trusting that they understand when they need to wake up to eat. And so in those first weeks, there's a lot of risk in not waking them up. So doing an every 2 to 3 hour, making sure you're getting 8 feeds in 24 hours can help get your milk in sooner and make sure that your baby is gaining appropriately.